Multiply with variables. Example 1. So multiply the following two fractions together. So we have px over 10 times 20n over x squared. So let's go ahead and multiply. So once again, it's the same. Just because it's variables, it doesn't change. So we're going to multiply the top together, and then we're going to multiply the bottom together. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have px times 20n. So really all it means is we're going to have the same number, right? Just 20, because there's no more other numbers to multiply by. And then we have n, and then we just put px. Putting all these variables together actually expresses that these are being multiplied together. So we have 20 times n times p times x, but we could just put it all together. Now, let's go ahead and do the bottom. So we have 10, and then we have x squared. Now we have to reduce. So notice we probably could have done our trick from the last video, but we didn't. So we have 20 and then we have 10. So we can go ahead and just divide both the top and the bottom by 10. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So we have 2 over 1 now. And then we have npx and then over x squared. So notice, like right in back in a video earlier in this module, what we did was, right, we can write this, expand this out, and then we can get rid of common variables, right, on both the top and the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 2, right, 2npx. We don't need to expand anything out because nothing's in an exponent. But on the bottom we will, so it's going to be x squared. So this is x times x. Now let's go ahead and get rid of one of these x's and one of these x's. So what are we left with? We're left with 2np and then just over x, and this would be our answer. Now let's go ahead and look at another example. Example 2. Multiply the following. So we have, let's go ahead and write this out a little bit bigger. We have 4x squared times 9y right on the top, and then 3, and then over here we have 8x. Now, let's go ahead and do our trick before we go ahead and multiply all these numbers. So notice we have a 9 and a 3. So let's go ahead and divide both of these by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 4 and 8 both can be divided by 4. We could do it by 2, and then we could do another 2. So let's just go ahead and do 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Right? So all we did was when we have, like, say 4 over 8, right? This is what it happens, right? We have 4 over 8. That's just going to go down to 1/2. So we just made this a lot simpler for us. So anyways, now let's go ahead and now multiply the top together. So what we have 1 times 3. So that's just 3. So that's our number. Then we have x squared. We don't have any more x's, so it's just x squared. And then times y. Then on the bottom we have 1 times 2. So that's 2. And then we have this x. So, like the last video, we're going to expand out this exponent. So we have 3 times x times y over 2 times x. Well, we can get rid of 1x. So what are we left with, right? We're just left with 3xy on the top and over 2. And this is our answer. Now let's do one more example. So we're going to multiply the following, right? So we have 5x squared over 4a times 9a to the 6 over 12x. So let's go ahead and let's look to see if we can do our trick. Looks like we can't, right? 5 and 12, they don't do anything. We have 4 and 9, which that doesn't work. But notice this is 9 over 12. We can actually reduce just this fraction, right? So this isn't in its reduced form when this fraction. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 9 and 12. So they can both be divided by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Right, so 9/12 just becomes 3/4. So this will make it a little bit easier on us. Now let's go ahead and multiply the top together, and then we're going to multiply the bottom. So we have 5 times 3. Right, so we're just multiplying the numbers. So we have 5 times 3. I can show you this, right? We have 5 times 3. And then we can go ahead and do our variables. We have x. Well, let's actually, this is why I like to do it like, let's go back. So we have 5 times 3. We're going to do this because x's kind of get confusing here. So we have x squared times a to the 6 all over 4 times 4 times a, right? And then times its x. So that's what it looks like. So let's go ahead and multiply that all out. I'm actually going to go put it over here. So we have 5 times 3, so that's just 15, right? We can multiply the numbers together. Then we have x squared, a to the 6. Then on the bottom we have 4 times 4, so that's just 16. And then we have ax. So notice we're going to be able to get rid of some variables here. So let's go ahead and write this out. So we have 15 times x, and we have 6 a's all over 16 times a times x. Now let's go ahead and get rid of common variables on the top and the bottom, right? We can just factor those out, we can say. So we have an x here and an x here. We have an a here and an a here, right? Because a over a is just 1. So what are we left with? Well, we are left with 15. We have 1x. And then we have 5a. So we're just going to go a to the 5th power. And then this is just all over 16. And this is our answer.